So here we have all the parts that are going onto the R34. We have the rear pillar garnishes that are going on that pillar right there. We have these blue Nismo mirror caps or add-ons. They're not caps, they're add-ons. You just double-sided tape these on. These are going on first. And we have this Nismo oil change record plate right here where you could write down the last oil change you had, I believe with like a dry erase marker, and then remove it later. We have Nismo floor mats. These are for the door panels and the inside there, carbon little stick-ons. Just like these are gonna go underneath the door handles there. And this is for the brake fluid reservoir. We have the fuel filler cap, oil cap. We have the Nismo shift knob that we're gonna throw on for now. We have this Nismo R35 GTR front emblem. We have this Nismo book. It's made out of suede, really good quality. And this is just to hold all the paperwork, registration, and we're gonna go ahead and throw all the Nismo install guides and warranty papers. So today we're gonna go ahead and install these multi-function blue mirrors from Nismo. These are actually a lot better than the OEM because they are wider lens. You can see more. So the blue tint reduces glare at night. I'm sure reduces it during the day also. So before we start, we're gonna go ahead and clean the mirrors with this cleaner 100 here. After we do that, we're gonna go ahead and take this thing, put it onto here just like that, hold the mirror, add tape on each center point of the mirror, tape it up to that actual mirror, draw a line, cut the tape, remove the mirror, come back, clean it up, peel this part off of the double-sided tape, and after we peel that off, we're gonna go ahead and line the mirror back up with those lines we made with the tape. So I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to do that, but first we gotta go ahead and clean. So as you guys can see, I have all the tape marks lined up. So now when I put it on, all I gotta do is follow the lines on that tape to make sure it's centered. I'm gonna go ahead, clean it up, remove that, and stick this first one on. The Nismo side mirror blue caps are now on. These things look so good next to the base side blue. I thought they were going to look more blue, but they don't. They look like just right, just the right tint, not too blue and not too clear. And it's crazy because looking at it from this angle, you can't really tell that it's blue. Once we bring it to this angle, you could kind of see it on camera. In person, it does look more blue. Now that we've got the blue Nismo mirror covers on, we're going to go ahead and throw on these floor mats, and this should be pretty simple. Obviously a few seconds to put these on, nothing more. So we're gonna go ahead and put these floor mats on, and I'll get back to you guys once I do that. So the Nismo floor mats are in. It was that easy. The only thing I don't like about this driver side Nismo floor mat is that it doesn't follow the contour of the OEM floor mat. But I mean, it still looks good regardless. Maybe the GTRs are a little bit different in that area, not quite sure. If it's good, it looks good. The rear also fits really good and snug. The passenger side fits so good all the way to the edge, and this is how I feel like the driver's side should have been, but who knows why they did it that way. I mean, regardless, still looks good. So they have like this little protector over the logo. I'm just gonna leave that on for now. I'll take it off later once the car's done. We're gonna go ahead and throw on these inner door panel protectors. It's a minor add-on, but it makes a big difference on the door card. Looks a little bit shiny right now, but that's because the door card really doesn't have any armor. Once this door card is all nice and black and shiny, it'll look just as good. I feel like this Nismo door card protector would have looked a little bit better if it didn't have this sheen to it. If it was just like a matte, I think that would look a little bit better. But I mean, regardless, it still looks really good. And what I like is the passenger side, you can see the Nismo logo there. These door cards look so good. The interior is starting to really come together. So next up, what we're gonna do is install these Nismo door inserts. So this part is a part that gets really scratched up with nails. If you guys look in cars, any car you guys see out there, there's always scratch marks right here. I'm always careful when opening the doors, but who's to say that cannot happen? So I ended up just getting them. Nismo carbon door protector. So I'm gonna go ahead and install these. After I install these, we're gonna go ahead and install the carbon pillar here. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll get back to you guys once I am done. All right, the Nismo door handle inner door handle protectors are now on, and let me know what you guys think about these. I don't really know if I'm feeling these on this car, but they're on already. In person they do look a little bit better than on video, but I just feel like it takes away from that Bayside blue. I don't know, I feel like it makes it look a little bit weird. Now we're gonna go ahead and throw the carbon on here. Hopefully that makes that look a little bit better. So now we're gonna go ahead and throw on these carbon pillar garnishes here. It's pretty simple. You just clean it up with alcohol and you take the double-sided tape off and you tape it on. That's simple. And these are actually made out of real carbon. You can see there. You just line it up to this inner edge of the pillar, just like that, and you just stick it on. So that's how I'm gonna go ahead and do, and I'll get back to you guys in a bit. Nismo carbon pillar garnishes are on. They actually look really good, honestly, especially in person. And now it kind of makes the door handle area look a little bit better. It doesn't look as awkward anymore. So having those two pieces of carbon there makes it look that much better. Just check this out. Just look at this carbon. Looks insane. I am gonna have to ceramic coat it. Man, these things make a huge difference on the car. I say they're worth getting. It's gonna look insane once it is done, especially once the wheels are on, brakes, car is lowered. Dude, you guys do not want to miss that. It's gonna be crazy. We have the Nismo shift knob that we purchased. There is a part number right there. Just got it just to have one in the for the meantime. This one you just screw it on. That's pretty much it. So as you guys can see, the shift knob went on that easy. So what I ended up doing is, since this shift knob only has one Nismo engraved, and I honestly think this is the correct way to put it. When you look at it, you could read it correctly this way. When it's on this side, it's upside down. So I just decided to put it facing towards the passenger side. And what I did with this Nismo decal, I actually ended up cutting this out from, let me just show you guys. So for this shift knob, they provide you with two decals, one for the 6-speed manual, one for the 5-speed manual. So I decided just to save the 5-speed manual just in case I ever need it. I tried this one on first on top of this, and I didn't really like how it looked, so I just ended up cutting the Nismo logo from the 6-speed one, and I ended up sticking it onto the shift knob. And I gotta say, it doesn't look too bad. I was gonna stick it on the side, but I feel like it looks good on the top. Side, it would probably be too small for the side, and I was actually thinking about putting this one on the side, but I don't know, I don't think it'll look good. But maybe I'll put it here someday. I don't know where I'll find a spot to put this thing. So this shift boot is missing the portion that goes in the bottom, so I'm gonna just end up buying that online and putting it in. Once I put it in, this shift boot should move up like that, and it should be nice and snug. I got this Nismo oil change record plate here, and the reason I put it here is because it's easy access. This part is so easy to take off. Whenever I do an oil change, I can just go ahead and replace what's on there, take it where I need to take, replace the date, etc., and then just pop it back in. So I put it there. The interior is really coming together. And then I also had this from the R32. It's a little cigarette lighter that I glued this thing onto. If you guys remember my video where I did this, I still have this. Eventually I'll get the Nismo one, but just gonna run that one for now. So we're gonna go ahead and add the Nismo oil filler cap and the Nismo gas cap. But in order to do that, I mean, I could do it as is already, but before I do that, I need to put the seal back in. And unfortunately, the seal does not go back in with this piece in the way. So I'm gonna have to raise the car, remove the plastic cover, unhook the lines, and bring this out, put the seal, and then put that back in. All right, so we got this seal in, and the way I did this, it was kind of tricky to get this seal in. I ended up removing the wheel, putting the car on jacks. There's a plastic cover that goes in here. I removed that plastic cover. I unhooked all the lines that go to this gas filler neck. I pushed the gas filler neck in. Once I pushed it in, I ended up putting the seal on and then pushing the gas filler neck upwards in order for it to grab on to the seal right here. Nismo fuel filler cap cover is on, and I gotta say, it looks really good against the Bayside blue. The only thing that kind of sucks about this is that the actual fuel filler neck sits a little bit higher than centered, and that just throws the cap off a little bit because it's a little bit higher than what it's supposed to. And the reason it looks higher than the original one is because taped onto the original cover and because of the thickness of this cap. If it would have been a little bit thinner, I would say that this cap would go more down and it would look more centered. Let me go ahead and show you guys oil filler cap. It looks good and all, it's just the same thing. This one already came with a new cap and it was taped on already from factory. So one thing I don't like about this is the thickness of this cap. If it wasn't for that thickness, I think it would have looked much better, much cleaner. But I mean, I can't really complain. It doesn't look too bad, but I might paint the valve covers in a wrinkled black so that way this stands out. I gotta clean everything up, make everything look nice and new, so that way this cap does not look out of place, especially before the debut of this car. And then later on down the line, of course, I'm gonna go ahead and make this engine bay look a million times better. Got this little Nissan Nismo wristband that we put over this brake fluid reservoir, and I gotta say, I mean, it doesn't look bad on there, but I just don't, the color does not go with the rest of the engine bay, so I'm probably just gonna take it off. As you can see, that looks just like much better than having this on. So I'm probably gonna find another place for this down the line. If not, then I don't know what I'm gonna do with this yet. I'll figure it out. But with that being said, both of the caps are on, I should say cap covers. We're gonna get going and installing more of the parts that we have. So stay tuned because this build is going to be crazy.